Hi, everybody. Welcome to What You Need to Know. It is Wednesday. It is Hump Day. And believe it or not, it's the last day of the month.
Last day of the month, yes.
As Myra would like to say, it's the 31st
It's the 30th.
of March. And it is Wednesday, so that means it is Myra J and Stephen Hill Day. Welcome. Hi, Myra. Oh, Myra, you look beauteous.
Yeah,
Stephen,
Myra,
you as well.
Thank you.
No. It's all about
Thank
Myra.
you.
Let's be
I put
clear.
on some rouge, a little bit of rouge. I bumped up the cornbread catchers. Cornbread catchers, got a little something on them, some grease on. I grease myself today.
You okay? All right. We'll just let that one lay. Okay, all right. Let's talk about what's going on in the news. This is a situation that we talked about yesterday, and I really wonder what you guys think about it. Stephen Hill, this happened in your backyard. This is in Manhattan, in which a black man, a man of color, let's just say, who attacked an Asian woman Monday afternoon. And he was arrested last night. And this is the really crazy part about it. The police have made an arrest in the brutal attack caught on camera of a 65-year-old Asian American woman who was on her way to church.
Fry him. I didn't know this. I didn't know this was the case. I'm so sorry. I had a visceral reaction to so many things in this. I'm sorry.
There's so much to unpack in this. Do you have that video?
Ooh.
Okay, if we still have it. But yeah, if you have you all seen the video?
Yes.
Okay.
Many times.
So
If Jeffrey Dahmer and Ted Bundy need a roommate, put this guy with them.
Horrible.
In hell. Yeah, absolutely. And the case, I mean, as you said, there's a lot to unpack here. This man is 38 years old. His name is Brandon Elliott, taken into custody. He is the man seen punching and kicking the victim in the video that made national headlines, as well as the video in which grown men watched this happen and they closed the door.
I'm so sorry. The other guy is probably mentally insane. It's the people who closed the door that should be living with Jeffrey and Ted.
Right. I think they should all be in there together, quite honestly, Steve. I'm with you. He was identified by residents as a local homeless person, and they said that he has obviously had some issues with mental health before. Why? Because he has a long police record, including the arrest in July of 2002 for stabbing his mother to death.
Yeah. He killed his
own
own
19 in front of his 5-year-old sister in their Bronx home. He served 17 years in prison, was released on lifetime parole. How do you get parole for killing your mama?
That's what I wanted to say. Can we stop this? Can we pull this show over and say?
Obviously, yeah.
Forget nursing homes. Forget nursing homes. Forget harassment. Take Cuomo out for just letting any dude who stabbed his mother out.
Okay, there's something else, Steve. There's something else. And he obviously has mother issues because when he was 17, police arrested him for choking his mother and ripping off her jewelry in a fight over money. So their history goes back a long way. But he killed his mother, stabbed her to death in front of his 5-year-old sister, served 17 years in prison, and he's back out there on the streets. And then he did this, and I don't know. I don't want to put what kind of flashbacks or whatever he had in his head. But he did find this woman on the streets on Monday and viciously attacked her. So that brings up a whole bunch of number of issues.
But please tell me they identified the chickenly, cowardly, horrible men that stood there and watched and then closed the door. Have they been identified?
Yeah, they have. And Steve, from what I understand, they have been suspended or taken off the job. They should have been fired, I think. But they have been taken off the job. And so we will see what happens to them as well.
Have their names been released? Because if so, I have no problem saying them out loud, just in case they have some social media.
You know what? Let me see. Because I did see that they had been arrested. I had not seen their names.
Their names, no.
No, I hadn't either. And we can go back and do, a deep dive on that. But yeah, this is the case.
But this to me is one of those throw away the key cases.
Yeah,
just throw it away. We need something called quick trials. Just like what's his face who on the trial now. We need quick trials. When the evidence, it is so clear what is done. Later for dragging it out, paying taxes, they get to sit up, for 3-4 years, have a repeal, come back. No, You go to quick trial, you're gone.
Yeah.
Period.
Like
Yeah.
like just call it the Oswald. Call it the Oswald. That was a quick trial right there. Lee Harvey Oswald. That's a quick ass trial. That's a quick ass trial.
Obviously,
Yeah.
Stephen Hill is referring to the man who killed John F. Kennedy, who assassinated the president at the time, and then Jack Ruby took matters into his own hand, and he killed Lee Harvey Oswald.
We'll be transferring those two chickens who closed the door. We'll be transferring them from what? Okay, yep, get the gun. All right, we're good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't find any argument here. The interesting discussion, and perhaps we can have this later on, I'm not sure, as we move quickly through this, but the discussion that we had in our programming meeting yesterday, our production meeting, was about Black folks and it being in alignment with the Asian American community regarding these attacks. And I got to tell you, the younger folks are like, what have they ever done for us? And so why are we, standing up in alliance? And I said it's just the human thing to do. But there seems to be some agreement among young African Americans whether we need to be standing in alliance with the Asian American community during this onslaught of vicious attacks.
Wait. I need to understand the philosophy behind that. Don't stand up for them because they haven't stood up.
Mm-hmm.
And what's the evidence that they haven't stood up for us again? What's the evidence? Have we been taking?
Well,
have we been taking
No, I think the thing that we have noticed that they have noticed is the fact that while we give them our business, but they do not patronize us. They do not support us. And they said, even last year, perhaps they were noticeably absent in a lot of the support for Black Lives Matter. And so they're saying that, that Asians haven't really, they haven't been there. They haven't had the backs of Black folks. They will take our money for our food and for our hair products and what have you. But definitely they are not there for us.
Well, I see this is where I
want you all to think about this.
I disagree. Okay. Are we through thinking about it?
I do too. No, go ahead.
Oh. Because I already thought about it. No, first of all, you said it. It's the human thing to do. It's the right thing to do. And then second of all, we're already a minority and we cannot afford to break ourselves off, and say, no, we're not going to be with them. When I lived in Los Angeles over 20 years ago, I used to get into lively discussions with friends who used to say, the Mexicans are coming here and taking all the jobs. Well, my thing was, first of all, this is California. This used to be Mexico. Study your history. They not sneaking over the border. They going home. So and I'm like, these people have hustle. So I'm thinking, what if the minorities, if we truly want power and get our voices heard, rather than not supporting one another, if we all supported one another, how strong would that be? How powerful would that be? Black, brown, Asian, you name it, if we all got together. So I'm not for separating myself from anyone who was treated unjustly.
I'm trying to think of, so you said think about it. I'm trying to think of how I look at this is about protesting against hate, period. And so hate in whatever form it comes in needs to be protested against, whether it's against, because if we're going to play tit for tat, like that makes no sense, because there's a lot of African Americans I haven't seen stand up for transgender rights, but I've seen a lot of transgenders stand up for Black Lives Matter, right? So it's just got to be against hate overall. It's got to be for equality and against hate. So if it's hating white women, that shouldn't happen, and we should be against that. So it's not because Asian Americans. There's a lot of African Americans who don't support African American businesses, and because you can't expect someone else to be kind of more woke than we are as ourselves as a culture. This is about hate, not race is tied in, but like it's. I'm gonna come back to you because it's the human race.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I want to talk about these two Capitol police officers who are trying to sue Donald Trump, blaming physical and emotional injuries they suffered due to the January 6th insurrection at the Capitol. It was filed yesterday. Said Trump inflamed, encouraged, incited, directed, and aided and abetted the rioters that broke into the building, forcing a joint session of Congress into hiding and resulting in 5 deaths. These are two Capitol Hill police officers. This is Officers Sidney Hemby and James Blasingame, who respectively have been on the force 11 and 17 years. And they say that his conduct resulted in injuries to the United States Capitol police officers, Metropolitan police officers, including themselves. Now, I brought this up because I also wanted to mention, and I know Myra wanted to talk about this, the ridiculous arrest made of a Georgia representative last week as she knocked on the door as the governor was signing a bill in a closed door session, right? Okay, so quickly, the Georgia officer who arrested Georgia State Representative Hart Cannon as she knocked on the door said he feared her actions would spur other protesters to turn violent and compared it to the events of January 6th in the U.S. Capitol were in the back of my mind. He wrote in the incident.
Yes, he did. Now, there were a total, including Representative Cannon, there were a total of 6 women. 6 women who were there protesting.
Women.
One woman went and, when I say gently tapped on the door, and he took that as, oh my God.
Myra, we're having some issues with your, okay.
You can't hear me?
We're back.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So he took that as, oh my God, I just saw January 6th all over again. And I'm thinking, if this is where your mind went, you shouldn't be a police officer. You should not be an officer, period.
Well, unless you're in the movie Minority Report, where they predict crimes before they actually happen. Right. Unless you're in the Tom Hanks movie Minority Report, then you're perfectly fine. Then, right, precogs, what'd y'all say? Oh, it's gonna be a riot? Should have gotten it since you knocked on the door.
Go. Yeah. It's getting crazier and crazier. I get the policemen that are suing Donald Trump, and I love that. And I wish that more people would sue Donald Trump for who got coronavirus, or those who lost loved ones. I would love for them to sue him for that. And I'm not mad at these police officers either for what they set up. That is what is trending. I mean, so that is what's happening in the news. And let's go to what is trending. And this is so disturbing, you guys. This is the story of a 12-year-old boy who was playing the blackout game. A 12-year-old boy in Colorado is now considered brain dead. And we have a video from this story.
Joshua Haliosus is like many 12-year-old boys. He loves soccer and video games, but he stood out even with a twin brother thanks to his passion for the Army.
He's a fighter. I can see him fighting. I'm praying for him every day.
He also was showing signs early on he might make a great church pastor.
It's just heartbreaking to see him laying on the bed.
But last week, his brother found him unconscious in the bathroom. The family thinks he was trying to choke himself with a shoelace, possibly a challenge to see how long he could hold his breath.
He told me the bad news that he's not going to survive. He's not going to make it. I just couldn't think of it. I couldn't imagine.
Doctors have told the family Joshua is brain dead and that they need to prepare to say goodbye.
I was begging them on the floor, pleading to see if they can give me some time. Just don't give up on him. Don't give up on him.
His dad says that a few days before, Joshua bragged to his brother he was able to hold his breath for a minute.
I'm paying the price right now. I'm living the life. And I hate other parents to go through this.
So the family hopes their story will inspire others to talk about any potential games out there that could seriously hurt another child.
If I just give up on him, I feel like I'm just walking away from my son.
I don't know if you guys remember, this was a couple of years ago. It's more than a couple, but it was a few years ago when kids were doing the same thing. I believe that, what was it, David Carradine that killed himself, and they thought that this trying to choke himself would heighten his sexual arousal. Remember the back then? And then there was a game, the kids were...
Michael Hutchins, lead singer from In Excess.
Say again?
Michael Hutchins, the lead singer.
Oh,
from
was
Exodus,
another
that's how
one.
he died.
Right. And so, this is the example of adults and white adults in particular. And even when kids were doing this a few years ago, it was usually the white kids that were doing it. This is a black child. And just in looking up the story, I was like, no, this can't be. But it is. And it's a little boy, a 12-year-old twin. And he has taken his life as a result of this. He's brain dead. He's not going to come back. And they have crowdfunding for the family, but it's just horrific. It's just horrific.
It's very unfortunate because children will try some crazy stuff. And as a parent, you're always hoping that you're there and you're protecting your children and keeping them aware. But sometimes, and there's so much stuff out there now with the internet, you don't know what they're on there trying. Within the last, for 5 or 6 years, I remember that they were eating Tide Pods. I'm like, you're gonna eat some damn detergent, but you won't eat lima beans. Then they were doing the cinnamon. Remember that? Kids were taking your
cinnamon.
your good ass cinnamon that you need to make some French toast with, and throwing that down their throat, and then coughing it out, and it'll make you choke. So this is so tragic. It's just very, very tragic.
Yeah, H2 Ice one on YouTube says TikTok combined with young people is the devil, and it was something that was initiated this time. TikTok, yeah.
Wait, the blackout challenge is on TikTok?
That's what one of the stories that I saw said too. Yeah.
I think there's gonna be regulation coming. We can't have that many. I mean, TikTok is to us to use today what Soul Train was to us. We're following it. We're doing every one of the dances. We can find our music on TikTok. Like TikTok is Soul Train and has the minds of youth like you wouldn't believe. So it's got to be regulated, or something has to be done, because for one person to do it, it's like so ha, sniffing model glue in the 70s.
Sniffing glue.
On Facebook said sniffing model glue in the 1970s. Yep. I never got that. I never got sniffing glue or eating paste. I never got that.
Did you ever take it and put it on your hand and pull it out there and make skin? Think you were making skin?
Wait, what?
I will say.
Wait, where?
That's what we did as kids.
And like you're peeling your skin back, and you're like, oh look, Mom, my skin is peeling. And then you didn't do that in school. It would freak you. It would freak the teacher or your parents out. Just some plain old paste and put it real thin on your hand, and when it dried, you peel it and go, ooh, look. I
only did that when I was robbing banks and trying to hide my fingerprints.
Maybe it was a Chicago thing. I don't know, but that's what we did.
But you know what was disturbing to my parents when I was a kid? I would get out of the car when they were pumping the gas, and I just loved the fumes.
Yes, yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know why. As a kid, my mother was like, if you don't get your ass back in that car, because this is not good.
Back when it was Esso before Exxon.
And it was that ethyl gas that really got me.
I like the smell of mothballs. I used to lock myself in the closet with the. I wouldn't even answer when the family would be looking for me. And the smell of the mimeograph
paper.
Yes.
Remember how? The teacher would bring the fresh paper in. And, yeah. Michelle Lynn Summerall says on Facebook, the only thing Soul Train made me do was my chores so I could watch it. My mama wasn't playing. Okay.
That's right.
That was a good discipline. That meted out discipline. Oh, Jackson 5 on Soul Train this week. Better be making your bed every day before that.
Mm-hmm.
No!
So our prayers out to this family. It is. I know we think about when we were younger and the crazy things we did, but nothing compared to this. And as you said, Steve, there are probably going to be some regulations regarding this. And as Myra has recited some of those other crazy things that have happened in recent years. So it's just such a tragedy.
We'd love for the company to self-regulate, by the way. We'd love for the government not to have to get involved and for TikTok to really self-regulate. That'd be best, but who knows?
Yeah.
Instead of being called before Congress like all these other people.
Right, yeah.
Remember,
Exactly.
Sybil, I bet you were one of those people who would flip your eyelids out.
I didn't do
You didn't do
that. I
that?
didn't do that.
I didn't either.
No.
I didn't either. It grossed me out. It grossed me out.
What you need to know news is up now, and I don't know if you guys have been following this the way that I guess it's just me and J. Anthony Brown talking about the Derek Chauvin murder trial. Today was day 3. Yesterday, it was an emotional day as prosecutors played back in which this former WWF or E, a former wrestler by the name of Donald Williams, said that he was trained in mixed martial arts, including the chokeholds, and he recognized the moves that Derek Chauvin was making on George Floyd. And he's described seeing George Floyd struggle for air, his eyes roll to the back of his head as he watched Floyd slowly fade away. This was another emotional day. Yesterday started it as they played back his call, and as he was heard to be saying to the police, "Y'all is murderers, bro." They also had 4 witnesses who were minors, and 2 of them are no longer minors, but they did keep their faces off the video camera, and they were there at the time of the murder as well. The young woman, I just want to mention her, Darnella Frazier, is now 18, but she is the young woman that filmed the video that has gone around the world. Mm-hmm. And so she was there walking to the store, saw what was happening, sent her young cousin into the store. And her cousin did speak as well, did testify as well. But are you all watching this?
Not a second.
Yep, I made the conscious decision that I've been pissed off enough the last 4 years, and I'm really trying to be in my woosah mode now. And I just know that watching the trial would take me to a very, very, very solemn, dark place. And you know, once again, express trial.
Yeah, yeah.
The Oswald special. The Oswald special.
Yeah, yeah.
They should call it the Oswald Chauvin special after this.
Now I did I did see on the news where there was an elderly Black man who was actually the last person to speak to him, who broke down and cried, and the judge had to actually stop and have a break today because the man became so emotional.
Yeah, that was today. So it was very emotional, and he was the one that's, tell him, don't fight it, just let him, put you in the car. And he said, I'm trying, I can't, I can't get up. And that was very powerful. I can look at my notes for the gentleman's name, but he's an older gentleman. And it was very, very difficult to watch him today. And the young man who sold him the pack of cigarettes that started all of this with the counterfeit $20 bill, who is now 19. He says he no longer works at that store. He and his mother lived above the store. So he knows that neighborhood and the conversation.
And I understand that the job of an attorney is to do the best you can for your client. But to me, his attorney needs to go, psst, psst, come here. Let's just talk over here in the corner.
And we're gonna have CK Hoffler on tomorrow.
Good.
And this is a question that Jay and I ask all the time, and we have over the years. What is he writing? What is he doing? What's he scribbling on that pad instead of paying attention to being
hang him. We'll hang him. Hey, okay, so we're gonna take. Sybil's got to go for a moment. She's there's a piece of like from 4 months ago. There was a hair piece in the back. She got to go fix that. And while she does, Myra, I'd like to tell you about my COVID shot, my second COVID shot.
Oh, okay.
I'm fully vaccinated, but that second Pfizer one's a bit of a doozy, Myra. Which one did you get? What'd you get?
Pfizer.
Both of them?
Yep, I've had both.
And you had no problem after the second one?
No, but let me tell you what I did after the second one.
You had 2 shots of Henny?
No, but I took immediately in the parking lot. I took 2 Tylenol because the first one made me tired. 4 hours later, I took 2 more Tylenol. 6 hours later, I took 2 more Tylenol. The neck arm felt fine, fine.
Dude,
Fine.
I'm so jealous of you because mine was first one was fine. Second one, however, my second shot, they promised drowsy. I was an insomniac. I could not get to sleep until 4:30. I couldn't sleep past 7. My body, like literally, my body was chilled and hot. Then chilled and hot. My arm was forget about it. And I actually felt like I wasn't. Like maybe it killed a couple brain cells because I felt a few like mental connections off. It was tough for me to, for a couple of hours, it was tough for me to string together words, but I'm glad you had it. Your hair looks lovely, by the way, Sybil. I'm glad you had a good experience. So there it is. Hey, Sybil, welcome back.
Yeah.
Thank you. I am, we're live. I did want to talk about the coronavirus vaccine in our coronavirus update. So Steve, I saw your post on Instagram, and I was just curious if you about how that was, and how long did it take for things to get back to normal?
About right at the start of this sentence that I'm saying right now. Like
when did you get the second shot?
I got it Monday morning, and yesterday was a blur. Like I'm not sure what happened. There may be a movie made about what I did yesterday, and I got
The Lost 24.
The Lost 24. I mean, it wouldn't be the first, but that's another story for another time. Shout out to Ibiza. But this,
all right.
But this one took a doozy. But I remind anybody for those this is supposed to happen. This is your body fighting off COVID. It's your body building antibodies for the invasion that's in your body. So I never panicked about it. It was just I knew I had to go through the uncomfortability, and everybody out there should go through the uncomfortability as well, because it leads to get to look like this. So.
And don't we all want to look like that?
And we should all.
Where'd that come from and why?
Right. One thing that I didn't get to talk about is why all men should be going to get the coronavirus vaccine. There is a study from the University of Rome that says that men who have coronavirus are 3 times more likely to experience erectile dysfunction.
Whoa, hey, whoa.
Now you just gave him an excuse. You just gave him an excuse.
No, they gotta go and get it so they won't get the virus. Otherwise, it's
right. Well, that's what I'm saying.
As Myra would say, it's about 6:30.
6:30.
One of my favorite Myra J lines ever.
And that, my friends, is why I took the Pfizer vaccine. Do your math. Do your math, people.
Do the math.
What else does Pfizer make that they might have slipped inside their vaccine? A little blue pill.
So I want to also talk about another great thing that has happened, and thanks to the president and his promises to elevate Black women. And this time he is elevating especially 3 Black women to federal judgeships amongst the group that he has put on his list of judicial nominees, promising to boost diversity in the U.S. court system, a diverse pool of minorities who gain skills as public defenders, former prosecutors, sitting judges, and attorneys at some of the nation's top law firms. Of them on the list are 3 Black women who will fill appeals court vacancies, which then will take them on up the track, up the judge track, if you will. U.S. District Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson will succeed the U.S. Attorney General now, Merrick Garland, in the U.S. Court of Appeals for D.C., the D.C. Circuit. Candace Jackson Akawumi, which is just fun to say, Judge Akawumi, a former federal public defender and litigator, will fill the Chicago. This is interesting too. She'll fill the Chicago-based 7th Circuit spot left vacant by the Supreme Court Justice Amy Coney Barrett. And Tiffany Cunningham, an intellectual property lawyer in Chicago, will fill the spot on the Federal Circuit in Washington.
Yeah.
So That is pretty cool, eh?
Not at all. Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit.
Because
Where's Hatchet? Where's Maybelline? Where Faith at? Where's Faith at?
Okay.
Faith at?
Where's
You
Faith
see the
Jenkins?
name? You see his title today?
Where Faith at? Yo, you fine. Whoever
You see that?
named off.
Where
Like,
Faith at?
if you gotta have 3 black women judges, they should be Faith, Maybelline, and Hatchet. So I'm not impressed. Not even a little bit. You can put Judge Judy in there because sometimes she black.
Her paycheck is not black.
okay, her taxes be
I can
black.
pretty much tell you what Judge Judy was getting all together. Judge Hatchet, Judge Maybelline, Judge Faith, all together they weren't making what she makes on a good day.
Joe Brown, Lynn Tolliver, all of them.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely, Myra. Absolutely. So
Kenny
very.
Lattimore could be the bailiff. So there you go.
I would
That's
like that
what
he
we
would
need,
sing
a
to
singing
her.
bailiff. Yeah.
Bird
For
was
those who
sometimes
don't know,
nice to look at.
Yeah, for those who don't know, Kenny Lattimore is married to Faith Jenkins. That's the thing.
Yes. They got married, what was it, last year? Or just before the pandemic? Yeah, I think so.
it was before. It was before because it was a
Yeah.
lavish wedding back when you could have lavish weddings.
Yeah. And were you there?
No.
I don't know what you're saying. Okay. I know our friend Judge John Murray was there and it was a great time by all those who were invited. So from our social justice chapter, this teacher's racist rant was caught on a Zoom call.
Shut your mouth. Yet
Do we have video?
again,
what
Do we have
you
video?
say?
Do we have video? Do we have video?
I don't think,
Oh.
I don't think so. I would love to hear this. I know. Kimberly Newman, a white, now former science teacher at Desert Willow Fine Arts, Science and Technology Magnet Academy in Palmdale, California, has resigned after her racist rant on a Zoom call was exposed by a mama. During the pandemic, the 12-year-old student fell behind in his assignments because the school provided a hotspot that did not work. The call took place on January 20th, which was the King Day holiday, after a Zoom session between Newman, a 12-year-old student, and his mother, Katura Stokes, to discuss the assignments ended. Teacher Newman failed to hang up and began ranting to her husband about the discussion with the black mama. She answered her phone for the first time the entire year. I mean, these parents, that's kind of piece of shit they are. 2 kinds of pieces of shit. He's black, they're black, he's black. That is what black people do.
They lie. That's what she said. They lie. Oh,
they're pieces of, yeah. She also referred to the student as a liar, as Myra said, and used racist slurs, which were not included in the audio recorded and published on YouTube. So the official complaint to the school suggested that Newman isn't the only racist teacher employed at the school, saying other teachers appear to share similar feelings about this child and his mama.
And they said that this child was a former honor student. He only fell behind during quarantine and having problems with the internet. So this kid was not a slacker, period.
Right.
But
Exactly
apparently the teacher is, though.
So Steve, let me ask you this. Yes?
No, go ahead. No, I'm ready for this question.
No, I'm just saying, as a parent who is going through this now, in this age of the pandemic and remote learning and what have you, first of all, have you had this experience with a teacher and not treating your faithful ward properly, or the hotspot not working and them not taking him seriously in his school assignments?
Fortunately, that's not been the case at all. It does make, you never know what people think behind closed doors or say behind closed doors. And, the challenge was she thought she was behind closed doors. She thought no one was able to hear. And so it just bothers me because now it makes me want, okay, well, Mrs. Culbertson, think about this about Jaden when he's not here? Does Miss Jenkins? So it gives pause, but luckily that's not been an experience that Jaden or I have had.
And apparently it's a problem amongst white women teachers, because if you'll remember a couple of weeks ago, there's a professor at a law school in DC, was it American or Georgetown? And this white female professor was talking to a fellow professor, another white man, about the Black students in the class and how how difficult it is to teach them, and they're not learning, and they're often at the bottom of the class and what have you. She was fired, or did she resign? But she was kicked out. The white male professor just kind of nodded, so he didn't get fired. But this apparently is showing.
I'm sorry.
I think he just nodded.
Because she went out swinging. If you're a baseball
player,
yeah. He went out swinging. He
just kind of petered out.
He checked his swing, like third base umpire. All right. He's safe. He's good. All right.
Can I just tell you how much I love the baseball comparison the day before baseball begins? Can I just really tell you how much that really brightens my heart? But apparently these women are not getting on how to stop the Zoom call. Men have a problem with what they're wearing and how much they're showing in the Zoom call. The women are having a problem.
Come, no. When you end a Zoom call, there are two things: leave and end meeting for all. Both of these buttons must be pushed.
Can y'all still hear me? Huh?
Leave and end meeting for all. These are both things that need to be pushed to make sure that you do not have a challenge.
I can leave early. I'm not getting paid for this.
Oh God, Myra. Only Myra J. I'll give it. They not paying me no way. It's been funny. They're not paying me enough, and Steve's like, they're paying you.
Yeah, right. Someone's getting paid.
That's all right. Next time I go to Papa Do's, I know I'm not picking up a check.
Yeah. You are owed a lifetime of Papa Do's visits. You really are. Absolutely. And Myra,
wait a minute. Y'all went to Papa Do's? I'm out.
Only she can figure out how to escape from this.
Apparently, I'm attached to this thing.
Okay, Myra, how do we repay you? So Stephen Hill's in Papa Dough dishes and visits. What is your method of payment?
Male or female? What? Who? What? Oh, Thai food.
Oh,
Thai.
Of course, yeah.
Thai.
Yeah. But it
Thai.
has to be. It can't be just any Thai. It can't be like any Thai, because
No.
It requires a trip to Los Angeles, staying
Or
at a 4-star restaurant.
Preferably in Thailand. Like, duh. Oh, hello.
Yeah.
We're not talking about the Mickey D's of Thai food. We talking Thai food. Duh.
And I love that she pronounced it Phuket. Because most of us pronounce it totally different.
Yeah.
Yes, we
Okay, so PH. So here we are at the question of the day. All right. And the question of the day surrounds your friend and his, Michael Strahan, co-host of Good Morning America. Michael Strahan, for as long as he's been alive and had teeth, he's been known as the man with all the great confidence and having the gap in his teeth. And apparently we thought that it didn't bother him. Well, Michael Strahan has taken a change.
Yeah.
He filled it in.
Yep.
He filled in the gap.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's not a fill-in. I'm pretty sure those are brand new teeth.
Oh, it's the whole range of.
Yeah.
Well, I actually read that it's temporary. Now he may be getting the veneers, and those are the temporaries. So he may have that option when they come with the permanent ones. But personally,
because the teeth, those are really different. And yes. So personally, Myra, yes.
Honey, look at here. A man should know how to work a gap. All right, that's all I'm gonna say about that. Baby, that gap was sexy as hell. Gap band,
I like it too. Gap band. Yes, ma'am.
I am the only person
outstanding.
I went to a cosmetic dentist.
So he shocked his fans yesterday when he seemingly closed the famous gap in his front teeth. In a video first posted on Instagram, he showed the process of his mouth makeover with Smile Design Manhattan. And he said, I did it, #goodbye gap. I do what I want to do for myself. And he sounds like a midlife crisis there.
I'm happy for him.
But
I have a number of friends who have done that, and it's there's something about teeth and the desire to smile that even though we don't see, look, it's like we all have flaws that we see, then we go like, oh, I don't like and everybody else goes, but it's beautiful, but I love it. Like we all have, and I say flaws not in a bad way. It's just different from what most people think of perfection. So I don't think I want to be clear on what I'm calling flaws. I'm using the Beyonce definition of flaws, right? And so we all have them, and so teeth are big for some. Look, when Keisha Cole closed her gap, I remember I was devastated. Like I was like, because I thought it was one of it was a cute and endearing thing. And I've had a cousin, one of my favorite people of all time, just got it done. And so.
And Tiffany on Facebook said Anthony Anderson did it as well. But my question is, I thought it was too. I thought it was nice. Based on Michael Strahan's decision to fill the gap, what would you change on your body?
Baby, look at here. If I didn't think lipo hurt so bad, I really would unplug y'all asses right now, and I'd be right at the table. And I bet you that doctor would get carpal tunnel trying to suck the fat COVID off my ass. Yes, that's what I would do for sure. Lipo.
That is hilarious. Myra, if we could get you a deal, would you do it?
Lipo? No, but I will do cool sculpting. That's the non-invasive one. Yes, ma'am.
Let me just know somebody who did that. It did.
It did not wait. It did not work, or it did work?
It did not.
Well, see, and I'm not doing a commercial, but from my research, it's not for weight loss. It's more for, they call it cool sculpting. So if you need to lose 85 pounds, right, contouring, so if you need to lose like 85 pounds, I don't know, I'm talking to the other person that's in this room, but then cool sculpting may just do 15. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to take all of that off.
85 out.
Right, period. But I'm still willing to check it out.
I have two answers. One, have you ever seen the movie Gattaca? There's a movie called Gattaca.
I don't think so.
The short version is Jude Law and my guy who I love from the movie. Oh my gosh, I can't get his name. Anyhow, one has got to play the other one. It got is an apostrophe for the other one, but he has to get taller, and so he basically inserts bone into his legs to make his legs like. I don't know if anybody ever seen me live. Like when I sit up, I'm I'm head to head with somebody who's about 6 feet. But but my legs dangle. My legs dangle when I sit there. Right? I am what you politely call low slung. Like I'm what you politely call low slung. So the thing I would do is, and it may take a while because I'm gonna do it after Yolanda stops laughing.
After Yolanda stops laughing.
This may take a while, but I would absolutely find a way to lengthen my legs so that my legs matched my torso. Literally,
And
I can
your
sit next
two
to somebody.
legs, not your third leg.
You're hilarious. I don't need that, baby. Listen. And the second thing is, to Myra's point, and I'm talking to my dentist, Dr. Catrice Austin, about this.
Hey, Dr. Catrice.
I'm gonna have a gap inserted.
Stephen Hill, you are so damn fine. Stop it, says boy.
That's because I'm sitting down. Okay, all right. Let me do this differently. This is me sitting down.
Myra, what do you always say? It doesn't matter how tall you are on land, but when you are horizontal, it all works out.
This is me. Wait. This is me standing up. This is me sitting down.
Mm-hmm.
Standing up.
Okay, to loosen track.
How fun
Okay, we get it. To loosen track. Can I just tell you, and I don't know if I can tell his name, and I'll quickly tell it, but he's a major journalist. And he came into the studio one time, and he was sitting in Tom's airline chairs, and all of a sudden he stood up, and it was like Steve. It was like he stood up, and it was just this. I swear, it was crazy. I had that happen twice, actually. All right, so now it is time for entertainment.
I got
news.
about the bags under my eyes too. How can I forget that? Since I was like 15. This is hereditary. People like, are you tired? You look tired. You said you know me 25 years. I've had them.
I'm 15.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Stephen Hill, I know you wanted to talk about this. I don't know if we have the video for it, but something that was entertaining, highly entertaining to you, was the Donald Trump interview with his father-in-law.
So there's a couple of things interesting about this is that you really have to search and know where it is to find it, right? It's not on YouTube, it's not on Instagram, it's not on Facebook. Like they're serious about nah, we ain't doing Donald. It was up for a moment. So it's an interview that Donald Trump did a couple of days ago with Laura Trump, as Sybil mentioned, his daughter-in-law.
His daughter-in-law.
Mm-hmm.
She's married to the other Trump son.
And so it's really it's really fun to watch because he's still clinging on to he did everything at the border. China must be really mad. And they ask questions like, he spent almost 5 minutes talking about how Biden fell on the stairs of the plane, and they didn't do much about that. But when he had to inch up the stairs at the Army graduation, the things that still sticks on a former president's mind are astounding. And so again, it's he's not the president anymore, so I can just grab the popcorn and go, this is fun. This is right. He's sinking even further. I'm good. So that was fun to me.
That was very funny. So here we are with the question of Facebook, because they have removed this. And do you think that this moratorium on all things Trump should be over? Because as you pointed out, it is highly entertaining for some people. I don't find him entertaining, but it's still something to consider. Do you think they should? The moratorium on all things Donald Trump. They took him off of Facebook. They took him off of Instagram and Twitter.
Right. Yeah.
YouTube. You can't. It's hard to find. Right. Like it's literally.
Right. Let him be. He said he's gonna start his own TV station and his own social media and his own world and his own planet and his own sun and moon and the stars in between. Let him go do that. Haven't you noticed that for the last 3 months, the first quarter, it almost seems like we've all just done a big exhale, a big woosah. Why would you bring that chaos back?
Ooh.
No. No, let him be gone. Be gone. It's like bad sex. Been there. You don't need to bring that back into your life. You know it's bad. Let that be gone. It's just a
So
it's just an awful
he's-
memory.
He's going to get a website, or is it already up, Steve? Do you know? 45.
No, this is a different one. I don't know if 45 is up already. I know he's talking about putting one up, and that's fine. I think it's dangerous to keep him off. I think it should be a la carte, right? If they took him off because they think he can cause danger, I think what they need to do is be able to review everything before he puts it off, judge whether that's going to cause danger, and then make a decision. Because right now, if Donald Trump just wants to say, I'd like to say happy birthday to my grandchild on social media, he can't. And that doesn't make sense to me, right? If the reason to keep him off is because you don't want danger, then you've got to do it a la carte. I think it's dangerous to let social media folks decide who can and who can't be on regardless of the message. I get it. I get if you want to get the message, but if I just want to say happy birthday to my grandchild and you're saying I can't because I have a blanket ban, that doesn't make sense to me. I'm not pro-Trump. Let me. I'm
No.
not a Republican.
No.
I just like fairness.
I
I just like
understand.
fairness.
But I just feel
and I
like-
know that that's. No, go ahead, Myra.
I feel like he's the Don. Figure out a way to say happy birthday to your grandkids. I don't feel nothing. I don't feel a damn thing. It's like, figure it out. You all that in a bag of chips, figure it out.
Apparently, Myra's having a vodka tonic today. I'm not sure.
No, but keep talking for 2 seconds, Sybil. Keep talking.
I can't tell you how many times I've heard that. So Stephen Hill, the other thing I wanted to talk to you about, and speaking of your very clear middle of the road point of view on so many things, in terms of the Chauvin trial, and I think about you every time I think about the outcome of this, because you are always so clear about the necessity of keeping that in your head, that he walk from this, right? And that Chauvin can walk from this trial, because all they need is just one juror. All they need is just one juror.
So I like to think I just like to take all points of view. I'm not middle of the road. I have my beliefs, but part of it is like what's fair and what can work. And I admit in Chauvin, I can't see how he gets off. Like, especially since once they added third degree, that was the reason I think they wanted to add third degree, because the previous Minnesota officer was convicted on third degree. So that once that opened it up, I don't see Chauvin. If Chauvin walks, this is a travesty of justice that we haven't seen since Jim Crow. That's as I am middle of the road. That's the way I feel about that. I don't see that.
I think that we're headed for. I'm not sure how this is all going to turn out. I just don't think it's going to be the outcome that we want. I just it is not.
What's the outcome we want? What's the outcome we want? What is the outcome we want?
We want him to be Oswalded.
You're right. We're not getting that one. Derek Chauvin is being transferred. He's being transferred in the basement. We're just gonna take him to Dallas to transport him. It happens there. Okay.
Myra J, what do you have for us?
I just want to say thank you to my friend Sybil. I got you can't see it. This says Quarantini on this glass.
I love it.
Quarantini. And I got these 2 glasses about a week or so ago, and I was like, okay, well, who sent me this? But on the side of the box, it said, please leave a good review. And I'm like, I'm not leaving no damn review. I don't know who this is from, or this could be a scam or anything. So I actually wrote the people like, okay, well, what's the connection? How do you know me? And then they finally said, well, someone named S. Wilkes. So, and I went, oh, okay. So I never got a chance to properly thank Sybil for my birthday present. So thank you so much.
Your Quarantini glasses.
My quarantine, and they're nice and heavy. And let me tell you, they do a Cosmo good. They really do.
Love that. That's right.
Yes, they do. So thank you.
So Stephen Hill, and maybe she'll have a Quarantini on Sunday, but the big versus battle is Sunday, correct?
Oh my God.
Earth, Wind, and Fire and the Isley Brothers. I'm sorry, Earth, Wind, and Fire versus the Isley
The
Brothers.
Isley Brothers with Steve Harvey as the host and D Nice is the DJ.
Yes.
This is going to be spectacular. Look, I can't call it. I can't call a winner in this one. I can't.
Right.
I can't. It depends.
You can't call it.
If
You can't call it. You must call it.
If you go up tempo, it's going to be Earth, Wind, and Fire. But then I think of Fight the Power, and I was like, and if you go down tempo, it's going to be the Isleys. But I'm like, forgot about Love's Holiday. So it can go. It can go either way. So it's just going to be 2.5 hours of great music. Of that, you are guaranteed.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And I hate to call it versus. I like to say the word and. So it'll be Isley Brothers and Earth, Wind, and Fire. Because this is such a great, just I don't even want to say old school, just real music with people who know music, who have given us so many hit songs and so many memories. Oh my goodness.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
Are the Steves going to be at the Apollo?
The tie-in. Oh, is this going to be? Is this at the Apollo? I don't think it's at the Apollo, is it?
I didn't know. I don't know
Oh,
where
no,
it's going to be. I
no.
was just wondering if you guys were going to be.
No,
if
we
it
will
was
be,
gonna perhaps
we will be in our respective dungeons, but the Steves will be at the pre-show. If you've not seen the Steves pre-show, come to us Instagram. And as a tie-in, tomorrow is the 1-year anniversary of Sunglasses and Soul Music. 1 year anniversary.
Wow!
And so
Congratulations!
Thank you very much. And I'd like to thank the Loopers for Sunglasses and the Loopers for a year of, and it saved my life. Anyhow, we're gonna do the preview of Isley Brothers and Earth, Wind, and Fire music tomorrow.
Oh man! So explain to people why your fans are called the Loopers.
It's because somebody, and I wish I could remember who. I think it was either Jason or TJ Age 30. Said loop obsession. Like, and it's because I play loops when I talk over the loops before the song starts, and it called loop obsession. And I was like, that's the greatest name. So it kind of morphed from Sunglasses and Soul Music to loop obsession. And so now it's mostly called loop obsession, and people who participate are loopers.
Gotcha.
We got a great little community.
I still think Sunglasses and Soul Music is still just a great title for it. I just love it.
Little tagline.
Okay. And this is Easter Sunday. So this is going to be a nice way to end that day, other than watching The Equalizer for me, and having an opportunity to listen to some great music. I wish that Tom were available to host that, because I just think that those two groups, were so important to the Tom Joyner Morning Show and his friendships with them. But be that as it may, I think Steve Harvey's going to do a really great job. And
what time does it start?
8 p. It starts at 8 p.
Okay.
Yep. 8 p. Eastern time.
For you people on that side of the country, yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
7 o'clock for those of us in the middle. Yeah. So cool. I'm really glad that we're doing this, and that this is happening. Because we talked about this. Remember, Steve, when we were talking about, I think we called you at one point and we were saying, who would be the next.
And it was Earth, Wind, and Fire versus Isley Brothers has always been one of the selections. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I can't. Oh. Capitol Center. Anybody from DC remember the Capitol Center? Saw the Earth, Wind, and Fire and the Isleys separate concerts, but the Capitol Center was the best place for concerts. Walk around the outside. Oh, check out what she got on. Oh, brown dress. What? Okay.
Well, I think I told you guys before that when I was in high school, my senior year, a group called the Pharaohs played at our high school prom, and later that year changed their name to Earth, Wind, and Fire. So
now.
Yeah.
There's some history for you.
That's a little known Black history fact. Yeah.
It's time for Yogi's Jewels, our daily inspiration. Of course, it is Wednesday, and it's kind of a wind down Wednesday. Today is Expect Greatness. Inhale the good. Exhale all bad. All of the bad. Exhale it. So there you go. This has been a really fun.
I'm not finished yet.
Right. There's way more bad. I'm squeezing it up like a balloon.
There goes all that good sculpting. You guys, thank you so much for a great week, and I will see you all next week. And don't forget, Sunglasses and Soul music with the Loopers tomorrow.
Loopers,
Happy
Loop
anniversary,
Obsession,
Stephen
Loop
Hill.
Obsession, first anniversary.
And
Thank you,
Sunday
Loopers.
is
Thank
the
you, thank you, thank
verses,
you.
or the and, as Myra would like to call it. And tomorrow, George Wallace and C.K. Hoffman. We'll see you. Bye.
He can tell you about their first dance, but he can't remember my name. I'm his daughter.
Half of all black families are impacted by Alzheimer's, but we don't know why. At HSC, we are investing in a new research study to find solutions for your family. To join the research study, visit blackalzbrainstudy.com or call 817-735-2963.